Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ALG Masters League Week 3, and I am going to be joined by a very interesting and new face to the ALG Masters League stream, and that's going to be my boy Wiggs, also known as Ace of Clubs, because I just thought of that as is going to be his nickname for the stream. I don't know, it came up. I was looking at a deck of cards, and yeah.
Dude, I'm chilling with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Mr. Ace of Clubs, uh, first time for everything, right? Gonna be joining up on the stream here, and as well as gonna hear you a little echoed, but that's gonna be fine unless you want to fix the OBS Ninja.
Oh God.
The audio, you have audio on for your OBS Ninja.
All right, how's that sound?
Perfect. Now there you
Okay.
go. Now the stream hopefully can hear you non-echoed. But man, introduce yourself a little bit here.
Oh, I don't know. Not much to know about me. Just recently got into casting in MW, and we're back at it after my league didn't fill up. So I'm kind of chilling. I'm ready.
Okay, well, bless up, my dude. And guys, no introduction. You all know me, Mr. 14 Man, myself, Chase, and we got ourselves an interesting match coming up. It's gonna be 302 versus Velis, and just right before this match, actually, Velis got dumped on 3-0. So they're 0-3 right now. Not really feeling too good, sucking the hind teat in their group, and 302 gold. They're feeling okay. They got a win in their first week of the league, and they dropped two matches after. But coming up against the last place team in their league at the end of week 4 or end of week 3, it's got to be okay. It's got to look good for them. But they need to show up and actually get the win and close things out so that they can end the week off 2-2 for their record and still put up a fight for a top 4 spot in their group. It's 8 teams per group, wigs like we were talking before, and we're going to be going into our map breakdown here, and you guys are going to see one thing, but we're going to be telling you another because the team switched up the maps last second on us, wigs, and but you know the updated maps, right?
Yes, sir. I believe what got raids map 1, 3, and 5, and the Moscow 2 and 4.
Yeah, which we could have had Crossroads, Moscow, Garrison, Moscow, and then Miami. But hey, you know, if you want to be black and white, we can go black and white.
It would have been nice to have a little variety there, but I'm chilling with 3 raids. I love 3 raids.
Yeah, no, definitely 3 raids would be an interesting one, to say the least. And if we do see that third one, though, that would be map 5, and that means this series would have to be close, and that means that Velis would have to win their first ever map in the league, um, which would be a bit of a tall task for them, in my opinion. But it's nothing impossible. Um, it all comes down to how well they play. And the first map that they have on the list is going to be that hardpoint raid. And Wigs, what's important about hardpoint raid? Like, what do you got to do? What's the method to the madness?
Honestly, rotations on raid will most likely be the biggest key point here in this map. I mean, once you can get those spawns and set up, it's super easy to get a lot of hill time on P2 or P3 and even P4. I think the only 2 hills that really will see contested quite a bit will be that P1 and P5. But outside of that, yeah, rotations, main focus for both of these rosters.
No, 100%, and it's going to be interesting to see how these teams also stack up with. This is the first time we're seeing them with these new GAs that came in this week with the XM4 off the table. The QBZ, something that people are flirting with in our league, and you're seeing the new changes to the attachments the AK-74 Uzi can use. Still, the AK-74 Uzi still, or not Uzi, 74U, excuse me, is still very, very strong and prevalent in the league. It's been one of the most dominant guns, and we're going to be jumping into the action here. We're going to see Team Velis on your left and 302 Gold on your right as we jump into the action here on this point 1. Wigs?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this starts on off. We should be seeing this hill, like I said early on, tightly contested. I don't know too much about either of these teams. Like hardpoint wise, how are these 2 rosters holding up against each other?
Well, you got 302 Gold. I'm just going to look at their record here while They're 2-2 right now in hardpoint, and we're looking at the side of Team Velis being 0-3 when it comes to it. I'm not quite sure if any of these teams have played this map pick yet in any of their matches on stream or off stream. But it has been a fairly popular map. It looks like Velis has lost on this one already against the Kings Grant Killers or Team KGK. So that one they brought up 122 points, and you would assume that teams are going to start to slowly get better throughout the league as it gets going on. And this is the third week of the league, so you'd assume that Team Velis starts to learn and pick up new things on the map. You know, the game it's not as new as it once was. It's starting to become older, and yeah, you're starting to see Team Velis put up some points here and actually contest and break into this hill quite well. Mad props to them, as they're not looking like you know, like they would get. They're like the same Velis of old that gets steamrolled quite easily. As we're seeing Waba put on a little bit of a show for us on that point before dropping off, and Trill and Deviants, they are going to be the ones leading the charge for Team Velis right now in KD department, kills department. Delivery, not Delicio, going to be the one that you have to keep an eye on the most. Coming off a previous series for 302 Gold, Delivery has been their outstanding player, their carry. Not always the hardcore carry. We've seen Kuid really pop off as well. Connor have moments as well as a super sub, and a Rectal not really playing too off the top of in the top of the leaderboards for his team, but also not near the bottom too often as well. But right now, sporting a 2-3, it's going to need to pick it up. But 302 Gold, they're looking good off of these first couple of hills.
Yeah, no doubt. They're looking really good. And one thing I do want to note there, on P1, they got 48 seconds, which is something we typically don't see a lot. As like I said at the start of this, like it's usually a tightly contested hill, and we just saw them completely steamroll through P1, and then they gained about 30 seconds there on P2, not doing too bad to split that time, but they're looking good here in this first rotation so far. They've grabbed a big chunk of time here on P3. Was contested there for a little bit, and Waba going on 5 in a row there for his team to find himself sitting at 7 and 4 here currently. It's just looking like they really need Banky to step on up here a little bit and grab a few more kills to help him win a rotation or two, or do something to help him get back on into this game.
Well, the hill is going to be all yellow, and I can promise you I did not piss in the pool, but Team Velis, they are definitely not performing to any caliber that could use a treat or any sort of reward, as 302 Gold looking golden on this hill. You know, all over the map so far. 122 and counting is their score, and well, Team Velis still short of that 50-point mark. Just unfortunate stuff to start, as a lot of the gunfights once again continue to be going the way of yellow. We're not seeing a fully yellow kill feed, and it's because unfortunately you're seeing Team Velis really just go at it one after the other. The team isn't hitting it as a group. They're not stacking up. They're not trying to break it as a team. They're not trying to split up either and go for pinches on the point. They were just going one at a time into it, and that's not what you want to see. It's like they're lining up for their COVID vaccine shots there, and well, 302 Gold, they were reluctant to give any to them. They practically turned them away. 302 Gold, they have everything to gain from that last hill, and Team Velis had prime time to set up for this one, and unfortunately just don't get it. They get absolutely slayed out. The 302 Gold members just walk on through. They're like, thank you for warming up the hill. I'm going to plant my butt down and just get more points. In 155 to 68, and Deviants showing up right there for 2 kills. That was big. Banky on the side as well. As finally we're looking to see a bit of fight come out of this side, but the hill, that's going to be the place that these players need to be putting most of their time, because objective, that's the name of the game in this one. It's not so much as get your kills. That's not what your team needs at the moment. 69 points only, you know. And I'm not memeing when I say it. It's just straight up looking embarrassing at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad here early on. Like you stated, on that P4 hill, like Team Velis is literally just solo hitting one after another after another. They're not grouping up or at least trying to get a split push going or anything. They're really just honestly struggling, like not playing together, not finding the kills they need to find to get into the hill. it's just a little rough for them. And everyone outside of Waba on that team sitting at negative here on the map. Again, like you said, kills not always as crucial as grabbing that hill time because you obviously need the hill time to win the map, but they really need to find the entry kills they need to get this hill time here. And they did a good job there of finding a few to get some hill time there for a good 10 seconds, but they need to do just a little bit more than finding these entry kills and grabbing 10 seconds at a time.
And it all stems off of some gunfights in rotation. Like you told us from the beginning, you know, it was 100% crystal clear. You gotta get on top of your rotations. But after you get those rotations, your team needs to lock in some strong defense, and they need to play together. They can't be getting cut off on their walks on over, you know, strolling towards the hill to grab reinforcements. That's just what's happening here. They're getting cut off from all these different angles. Banky, you know, in the place that his name suggests he deserves to be, the bank here. But is he going to be able to make anything, any money come out of this situation? Instead, it's going to be all 302 gold that are profiting from this hill and from these trades that keep going back and forth over in front and behind the hill. Recco, he's going to be watching this from the kitchen side, maybe making a meal or two before dropping off. And well, Team Velis, again, if they finally look like they're good, they finally look like they break into the hill, and sure, they're going to grab some scrap, but it could be a little too late. It really is looking a little too late here. They're going to make it past 100, you know, save the embarrassment of being a 100-point clubbed, but 302 gold, they're just firing on all cylinders, and I'm going to be so afraid for the side of Team Velis when they have to play off in the next respawn in control with the way that 302 gold is just outslaying. You know, they're out-rotating. They're just everything. It's just 200 IQ versus maybe 50.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. Like you said, it's going to be a struggle for them in these respawns. If they can manage to steal like a controller hardpoint off of this
S&D.
302 gold roster, like yeah, you definitely got to win the S&D, like no doubt. But outside of the S&D, you're gonna have to steal a respawn, and that's gonna be a struggle. Like you said, they're getting outslayed by a lot right now. You got Trill sitting at double negative on the map. I mean, Deviants isn't that like far behind him in that double negative category, but it's looking rough for them. Waba the only one really able to find any kills here in this map really for their team.
Well, and 250 to 125. I like these. I like those numbers. You know, if they're going into my bank account, but I don't like seeing that when it's in a game that I'm commentating over. Obviously, want to see something a lot more competitive, a lot closer. And Team Velis, they really just need to start getting out of the slump that they're in here. They, like, all of their matches so far this league have been disappointments for themselves. And you know, I talked to the captain, you know, of Team Velis just briefly before this matchup, and you know, unfortunately feeling down in the dumps a little bit. His confidence is running a little low, and you know, hopefully they can take these losses with grains of salt. You know, each of these teams in the league, the way that it's working out is they're going to get an opportunity to play each of their opponents in their group twice. So this is your time. You know, sure, you lose all these matches, but make sure to watch those VODs carefully and work and understand, you know, how your opponents played those maps. And if you're the underdog, that's going into the second half, you know, and you have a 0-7 record at bar, it's terrible, but you'll be heavily underestimated. Literally, people are going to be wanting to, you know, people might choose to play your team on bad days to try to get their momentum up, you know, or just like they'll want to walk through your team. They might even pick shit maps for their team, thinking they can just practice like their worst maps against your team. And you know, right now they're in do or die mode in terms of really figuring out how they want to move forward in this league, because it's a terrible sight for them. But 302, they're gifted with a nice little turnaround matchup here, and they're able to make that first map go their way very convincingly, I would say. Standout player, in your opinion, who would it be on the side of gold?
Honestly, I would say Rectal. I thought he started off a little bit slow, but he did pick it on up. And when he was like frying, they were not giving up too many points. For me, it would be Rectal. But really, you could pick anyone on that 302 roster. They all played good there in that map one.
Yeah, most certainly. They all shared equal success as a team, you know, and it's tough also a little bit to judge who's the strongest on that team off of when they're playing a team that's like, when you see the skill gap, just the skill disparity so wide. Um, And looking at Team Velis, like a lot of the times, like what we noticed on P4, just a lot of individual play. I don't know if it's them just not gelling as a group. They're if they're their their strategies, their plays, if they're playing very individually, maybe their heads are in the stats, and their heads aren't in the teamwork and all that. Like I don't know. We could go on for days and days about the struggles and the problems and the negatives from that first map. But we are going to be jumping into that next map, the S&D on Moscow here. And well, I'm going to ask you the same kind of question I asked you before the last map. What are your thoughts on Moscow Search and Destroy? Tell me, what are some of the most important stuff when looking at an offense side, defense side? What do they got to do? And maybe if you want to throw in Wigs, where does this map stack in all your favorite S&Ds in this game?
If maps S&D wise in this game, this is probably towards the bottom there with Checkmate. Just in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of it just because it plays out kind of slow at times, and it's just I don't know. It's really big, kind of slow, not like the pace I like to see, but some of the things you definitely want to look for here in this map are getting those first bloods on offense and defense. If you want to win a round on either side, you're going to want those first bloods. You're going to need them. And then to focus on the other side, if you do get first blooded, you just need to focus on playing as a team. You can easily still bounce back from a 3v4, get numbers, still win the round. So it's just going to be a lot of patience, especially here on Moscow. But play for the picks. If you get the picks, it's going to just make the rounds a whole hell of a lot easier for you guys.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's going to be a lot more linear, especially with that one bomb site that literally every team just only hits really A. This is going to be that real test, and it sucks because the first time we saw a sort of situation that I would feel mimics this is P4 on that last hill, where, you got to go to that corner. You kind of go to this one bomb site, and this one's usually where a whole team would rush on through. It's going to be all about that team coordination, making sure who's checking what corners, who's going where, who's walking which direction, and but that the team needs to be able to break and stay together, need to stay together as a unit, and then break up coordinatedly. With some sorts of coordination when it comes to that point, and they weren't really if they line up like they're going to the doctors, like once again what I was saying, if they line up and just go one at a time at that bomb site, it's just not going to work out. Same with if they try to hit it at B the same exact way. We got to see some coordination out of them, something better, something that shows off some sort of chemistry, and obviously we got to see them get some rounds on the board. They need to start seeing in the lights their name saying Velis win. Like, it might not be the map, but it's around, minor victories, right? Like, something to get their team smiling. But we're gonna start loading into that map, folks, in just a moment here. And any prediction you got on the scoreline?
The score line, I think we see 302 take this 6-3 or 6-4 roughly.
Hmm. Well, I'm a big fan of blowout, so I'm gonna say a 6-1 for 302. But Velis, that leaves the door open. Punch me in the face. Make it look a closer game. Maybe even win, and then you guys could clip this and throw it on Twitter if you want. Like, do whatever the heck you want with it. Celebrate. Heck, you guys could definitely celebrate a ton. This would be your first map in the league. Hey, let's get it. We're jumping straight into the action here, though, in Wigs. We're gonna see the side of Team Velis with that bomb to start off, and going to the bomb site that I predicted as well.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of A hits throughout this map. We, like you said early on, you're going to have to be coordinated here. You cannot solo hit repeatedly on this map, and I think we do see Deviants fly on out there. He does get first blood. It's on the bright side here for 302. They're going to get these first two, actually make that now 3 kills, and they're going to have numbers. This should definitely be a round 1 win here to 302.
Yeah, there we go. The team will shoot together and or distract together and get the final kill off the board, and 302 will see themselves where they left off, essentially. Success, continuing to spill that momentum out over into this map, and they're going to start off being one up in this map in the Search and Destroy. And now switching sides here, Velis, they're going to have defense to work with, and you know, when it comes to the S&D maps in this game, where does Moscow stand in, you know, offenses, opportunity, better win percentage for offense or better win percentage for defense? Like, where do you see this one leaning? And, you know, would you say that offense has a stronger chance on this map than others?
On this map, I mean, it just depends on the situation. Like, as long as you're working as a team, like I think it could be one of those higher percentage maps. But oh my
Banky.
God, he just absolutely fried right there. That's a huge two piece for him. If he can gain some momentum here in this map
Oh,
for anyone on this Velas roster, it's going to be huge for them because every round that you win is just momentum for your team, and you definitely need it here in this series.
oh
No
man.
map wins, like you said, and this could be huge for them as a team.
Man, delivery nearly got a two-piece right there, and that would have been brutal. Oh, no way. No,
Oh,
they need to get the kill. Okay, he stuck the defuse, it looked like. Damn, that was so sketchy near the end right there. Like, oh boy, but Banky with this two-piece right here. Man, let's go. I'm feeling,
how
there
tough
we
was
go,
that CM
Velas.
right there?
Velas on the board right there. I think they got a call it from he got a call it from Checkers, right? From the guy Checkers on their team that could
He
see
might
through.
have. I'm not too
So,
sure.
something like that. I know he got it. It was definitely a call. He wouldn't have hopped that unless he just had the instincts. Oh wait, you
Yeah,
know
I
what
have
it was?
no idea.
You know what it was? One of his teammates was Checkers. The guy was shooting at him from tree, and then the other guy just above him was shooting as well. So he knew where
Oh,
both of them
okay.
were.
Yep.
He knew where both of them were because they killed off his teammate in Checkers or something. And then yeah, and then that's how it worked. Yeah. Now I get it. Now I get it. First blood though gonna come through for 302 gold, and like any S&D map, first bloods tend to be king here. And just a little flicker of the board, and you're gonna see two first bloods going over to 302 gold and one to Team Velas. Equals out the score perfectly there, but as I'm saying, equaling out something. Waba is gonna get that evening out kill, and there we go. Kuwid's gonna take him down. You know, 1 second he's looking like a hero, the other one he looks like, you know, a zero. And Banky gonna be the last one up here. He's gonna be in that 1 versus 3, turn it into a 1 versus 2. Just a second ago, he got that kill there. Nice little trade out for his teammate. He was the player that impacted the last round the most. Now he's gonna be put in a position where he's gonna have to impact this round heavily and be the one that mostly impacts it himself. With a 3 streak as well that he's working with, you know, he either plays balls deep for the round or you know, he maybe plays it off for some streaks. We'll see how this one plays out. He got the bomb down. That's going to be points that go towards streaks for him to use. Now, whether or not he's able to kill off these last two 302 players, that's going to be important, as unfortunately he doesn't get some good COD timing here. His position, I believe he's gonna get sniffed out at gold. There's gonna be a player coming around right here. Does he catch the player behind him though? Oh my lord, Kuwid hitting him through the wall right there. Absolutely brutal scenes. Kuwid gonna steal away the round from 302 from Team Velas right there, and it just looked like Banky could have potentially done it and put his team up 2-1 in this map, but gets ripped. That joy just gets ripped from his face. It was sad. Like,
That was a pretty good round out of 302 though. We saw them get those numbers, and I don't know if you saw them out towards mid map, but they literally sat back to back and waited for him to plant the bomb and then played together. And in the end, the trade comes on in. It works out for them. Great stuff there from 302. That's what we need to see from this Velas roster. Like when you have the numbers or you're down, you need to play as a team, group up, don't split up and just drop. Like we
yeah.
saw that in the last round. They didn't play together, and in the round they could have easily won there if they had one more player at the end. They end up not winning, and they're finding themselves only down by a round. But like we said early on, first blood's going to be key. And so far, each team that's gotten the
Ooh,
first blood
look at this
has won the
play.
round.
Really nice wrap from two of the players from Team Velas, but will these kills come out in favor for them?
Banky.
Oh, it's 1 versus 1. Banky gets a
Oh, he
team
had a
kill.
TK in there.
That's brutal. But just as you were saying, man, like I 100% agree. You know, this isn't Scooby Doo. You don't split up and look for clues. You could play together. But right now with the 1 versus 1, Banky, I guess, didn't know the bomb was down over near A. It's interesting that he doesn't expect the bomb to be over there. You'd assume, due to all those players dying over there, that maybe if one dropped the bomb, that it would have it. But he looks like he's gonna play, do the same sort of play we saw at 302 gold do last time. They just retreated to checkers, waited for the bomb plant to come through, and then now it looks like he's gonna try to come out and make his bid for the round. as Banky's gonna be coming from spawn side. He's not gonna spot Rectal. Decides to just probe around here in the office. Hope you got that little joke that I threw in right there, but
I hope he picks this corner. Oh, he's in the spot.
Oh, look at that!
The clutch up. That's, I think, another round win to the team that got the first blood too.
Yeah, man, I'm happy. You know, Team Velis is making this one more entertaining and already snubbing my 6-1 prediction. Hey, that's fine. I don't mind being wrong if we're seeing Velis be right. And this is that play I was just mentioning. I mentioned a little bit earlier. Wow, with the TK and put his body on the line for that. As Team Velis, they are gonna get that round one up by Banksy, or Banky, who is you know, the man on the mission for his side and really helping carry his team across this this goal line, especially Deviants right now, who's going 0-4. Unfortunate goose egg donut situation for him. Gonna have to, you know, get rid of that one so that he can start to make his team feel like it's a 4-on-4. It's 302 gold. It looks like they're gonna be playing through the middle of the map for some control, looking around A, but it looks like we're gonna see a weird split off and passive offensive play coming out of Team Velis. It's a little unorthodox, wouldn't you say, Wiggs?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but I think both teams are kind of playing a little different than I'm typically seeing. And we just saw all four of them hit out towards mid map here from 302 gold, and then we got Velis playing super slow. I think one player that could be key here is Trill. If he just plays this a little patiently there, watching that flank through A. I think if one of these players here gets spotted out towards Statue, that someone on 302 might hit the flank from there, but we'll see how that plays on out. It's looking like he may get spotted here, though, shortly as he's starting to push on up there towards Eskies, and he will be first blooded. 30 seconds now left in this round as well, and it is looking like that bomb is going to be put down on B. So the patience works off just a little bit, but not too much as they're down in numbers. And yeah, Banky's gonna have to find a huge kill here in the back.
Ooh, Abba gonna grab the kill mid checkers, and that's gonna be really influential in helping bring his team into a 2 versus 2. Can he catch Reckles? No, Reckles will catch him off guard coming out of the garden right there. You got to make sure you take the gloves off so that you can snap your gun up fast enough. As just stuck there gardening. Fortunate. Banky, he's going to be looking to kill some players over by the bomb. He will take down one. He's going to retreat to regain some life here. He's going to get chowed up. The player doesn't spot him, and he wins that 1 versus 2 in the end to clutch up for his team. Banky really doing it all. The team is cashing in these checks with Banky, and they're paying off. They're not false at all. They're completely real. And Banky putting down delivery as well, man. He ain't need no DoorDash, no Uber right there. He's gonna make it himself, that meal.
Yeah, Banky's having a huge game here. How close is he to streaks right now? Or
it's gotta be 1 kill, 2? Oh, no
yeah,
way.
He is super close.
We'll see. No way. Oh yeah, he's got to be 2 kills away. Yeah. Well, like, it should be 1 kill in a plant or 1 kill in a defuse, actually.
Yeah, he played the ending of the round a little different than I expected with where he had that bomb planted. Pretty sure you can see that bomb from underneath that bus if you just lay down there. So I thought he was going to play it a little more patient, but in the end, he finds a huge 2-piece there, and he's super close to streaks. And I wouldn't doubt it if we just saw him play this round for these streaks. On this map, they could be huge if you keep B control and use them out towards A. So hopefully they can get these streaks. That'd be huge for them and could really help them win the map. And he drops no.
Yeah, he challenges for the streak, hoping that that player didn't notice him. But man, when you play those head glitches and stuff, you got to make sure you're not exposing your body way too much, especially to those ARs that can gun you out a lot more easily than with the sub. And boom, we're gonna see Rectal get that last player right here. Deviant's just YYing out of nowhere. Unfortunate stuff. Gotta really hold that gun up, my dude, especially when you're holding office in the 1 versus 4. And Team Velis, Deviant still on that struggle bus, just hasn't been able to get off. Hasn't found his stop really, as he's just continuing to ride that one. 0-6 right now, kind of reminding me of Scump on Miami right now. But it is a 3-3 scoreline, so he's gonna have some more rounds at least, you know, to still work with to potentially get himself that first kill on the board for himself. He's going to hold this long angle here. We're going to see a passive play once again come from Team Velis. They're going to be sniffing just for the first blood, but unfortunately they will lose Waba, who played aggressively up to Esky Stairs. That nade's going to be good at tagging up delivery. As I was saying, that doesn't look like it looked like it missed its mark here. He's going to try to get tagged up a little bit there. Trill in the background is going to find one as he's going to try to get a retreat going through. He's going to find one kill. Can he find the player to his left? That player was so weak. He could have just spat on him and that player would have dropped. As Deviants, he's going to be backed up into a corner here. Owen sticks still as well. He's going to break some glass, potentially give away some audio cues in the mix there. But with that bomb down in checkers, it's going to be very problematic for him, as he's going to have to try to pick that up. And I'm not sure his pathing is the best, really. He's not even playing for that bomb either, interesting enough. As it just seems like, man, we're starting to see the Velis of old in first map really lost. And that slide out, unnecessary right there. You know, people that love to slide way too much, they got to slow it down. They got to stop it. They got to use it when it's needed.
Yeah, definitely cannot give away any audio cues, especially like with that 1v2 as well. It's like, I don't know, it's a little rough. I think Deviants played that a little too slow in that 1v2. I think he should have tried positioning a little bit earlier. There was a few times he could have easily found one of those players out of position, got the kill, and at least make it interesting there towards the end, but he's finding himself at 0-7. Hopefully he can find a kill, a goose egg, and a search and destroy, especially this far in would be really bad if he ends up with it. But
oh wow, that stick onto
no
onto delivery is going to be very problematic for that team, but they will be able to get a kill on the board. It's going to bring the lives to even. So 3 or 2 gold. Stuck in the mud for a second, but we're able to wiggle their way out. Waba, though, going to get 2 hot kills over by A. He's looking hungry, and he's looking like he's going to be able to snap onto the next meal here in Reckles. Potentially, but Reckles will find him at long. But there we go. Velis win another round. Keep this one close. This is a lot tighter than what was to be expected. You know, we're seeing a very, very tight search and destroy on the cards here. And your 6-4 prediction looking a lot better than what I was maybe giving you credit for at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking a lot better than a 6-1, you know. So maybe it'll close out that way. I don't know. As long as, you know, we don't see 302 throw a team Demtex kill again or whatever you want to call it. Like, that was just a bad opening for them. They kind of gifted Velis that round win right there. But Velis actually in position there to find a trade there at the end. It's nice seeing them actually working as a team a little bit. Yes, they were gifted numbers early on, but it's just something they need to do more of. And Trill doing a great job here of opening up this round, finding that first blood. Teams now got numbers, and this is where we need to see them group up. I would love to see Trill push over towards B, help his teammate out over there, as 2 of them are going to be over there. I would love to see them try to get positioning back police if possible, try to find something over towards that B site, and Deviants needs to stop jumping here. He's going to get out of the position.
He needed to back off of that position a lot sooner, and Trill also going to die off in the middle. That's going to be divided we fall is the motto here in this round, as just they need to regroup and just reposition here. Waba's going to get a really big kill there in that hallway, or in that in a little corner, and Danky gonna find an even more important kill off to the side. So that's gonna be a 1 versus 2 that we see number 7 Connor up to having to win. This little stun out is gonna disorient him, and Team Velis are gonna get on the board. They're gonna get themselves up here. This is their first lead, I believe, in this entire series so far, coming out of that hard point and into this search and destroy, and they have a really good opportunity in front of them to get a map out of the series and steal one off of 302 Gold. Their first map of the league too, just to remind you guys at home.
That'd be crucial. If they can get this map win, that, like, it could be the slightest momentum that helps the team win a series. So like, one map could really help them in a control. Like, I think if they're going to take any respawn, it's got to be a control, because I mean, we all saw how that first hard point went. It could be a little bit different here on Moscow, but that was kind of a convincing win there from 302. So hopefully they can gain some momentum if they can win this round, win this map, big. And it's looking ideal there as Banky finds 2, Deviants finds 1. Tuid now left in that 1v4. He does find one kill. Can we see him clutch on up and find these last 3 players?
There we go. They're grouping up together as well. Gotta love it. They're putting that work together. Well, number 2 also goes on his own, but that's been Banksy. That's been Banky the whole time. He's been probably on his own island, in his own head here, probably tuning out of his team's comms when he's the last one up here. And Deviants, he's going to be looking to try to get a kill on the board. He will drop there. Unfortunate stuff, but there we go. Team Velis, they close it out. Your 6-4 scoreline prediction was a correct score, but just unfortunately not the right team in the end. Really fortunate stuff for Team Velis. They get their first map in the league in this one here on that Search and Destroy. And, man, this could just help them so much more than just with this series. This can help them overall in the league start to feel a little bit more confident. Coming into this one, I said a little bit earlier that the captain on Velis not feeling the greatest. Confidence was down. They just got 3-0'd by Divine Future just before this one. And with a really close hardpoint as well, actually. It was like 250 to 211. So it was a lot closer than this last hardpoint that we saw. So it's going to be interesting now. We got a guaranteed map 4 on our hands, and can I say we have a series on our hands?
Oh, you definitely could say we have a series on our hands. As long as we see Velis play together as a team, we should be seeing a good map 3 and a good map 4. I think in that map 2, there was times where they played good as a team. Then there was times that they actually played really poorly as a team. So hopefully they can fix up their mistakes here, bring it into a map 3, play together. That's going to be the biggest thing here in this map 3 is playing together, finding the kills when you need to find them. And on a map like Raid for a control, you can win an offense or a defense as long as you're playing as a team. You can't go off, do your own thing. You got to play together. That's going to be the biggest point here for both of these rosters going into this third map.
Yeah, and just last little touch on this map, the Search and Destroy, before we move towards the control. Before we move towards talking more on the control, what was what was the thing that stood out the most, to you? I know Banky, obviously player of the series for player of the map for the side of Velis there, dropping I think like 11 and 7, 11 and 8, something like that. I don't know. I know he had 11 kills. That's all I know. What do you think was so big? What did he do that really made the team win the series ultimately? Was it, what was the strategy that he implemented that was the success?
I think part of it was positioning on his part. And a lot of the rounds we saw him get kills, like the one where he clutched up in the 1v2, he found that first kill, immediately got out, repositioned, and ended up finessing that player. The player had no idea where he's at and found that second kill. But yeah, I think a lot of it was positioning.
Yeah, no, for sure. The man was dripping in finesse throughout that one. Got so many 2-pieces. Actually, not so many 2-pieces, but he got multiple rounds where he would get a 2-piece, and then it would put his team up in lives, and he would be alive. I feel like most of the time, if we were to look back at rounds that his team lost, primarily he was not on the board. He would be off the board. But right behind him, actually, I think there was one other player that stood out on his team at least, and I think it was Waba, actually. Waba did a really good job in also icing a few rounds and staying right behind him in kills by about 2 or 3. I think he was behind him. Actually, no, at the end, he had 10 kills at the end, so it was a 1 kill to separate those 2. So he also had a bit of a silent, strong round, strong map for himself. Now, when you look at 302, going into this one, they don't have the momentum they had from that hard point. So now Velis have some momentum. What is 302 got to do going into this control to take this map and to take back a lead in the series? What do they got to do to win this one?
Honestly, I think they just kind of need to do what they did in that hard point. Just play together, play as a team on breaks, and find the kills. I mean, we saw them outslay Velis by quite a bit there in that map 1. So they play somewhat like they did in map 1 with finding the kills and then just positioning, playing together. They should be fine here in these respawns.
And I'm assuming you're a fan of for offense, Cat B first, and then A will just be 10 times easier. So that's sort of like the strategy you would implement when it comes to playing this one from an offense standpoint.
It just depends on what team wants to do what. I think either point can be easy to cap at times. I mean, obviously the one over there by basketball a little bit harder to capture, but I would love to see some B hits, then go towards A, but I would like to see them mix it up a little bit, go A and then go B. It just depends on how they want to play it.
Well, right now we are gonna see the side of Team Velis, the purple people. They're gonna be on offense to start things off, and they're gonna be going to A. But this is a ping pong effect that we see quite often here. You'll see the defense funnel straight to A, and that causes that spawn out over by Mansion. So then, if the other team beats them in the foot race over to B, they're able to win a few kills here. We're gonna see one tick captured at B here. It's the ping pong effect, and Wubba going big over by not fountain steps, but over by pool steps to get his team some extra time. And oh my God, Banky just opened that hill up for the taking, and he's gonna be able to cap B all on his own right here. The last tick, I mean, and oh my, Velis. That last map fucking lit a fire under their feet, and they're going into this one hot and heavy here. Man, this is unexpected. This is a Velis we definitely wanted to see more in the opening map of this series. They've been hiding. They've been hiding out on this stuff for us, on this power and on this precision for sure.
That was a great adjustment by them too. They all got wiped there right away as Delivery found that 3-piece in this A point, and then immediately went towards B, got that cap, and Waba's got to be a player to highlight right there. He found 2 huge kills out towards Staircase to get control of B for that team, and he finds a huge 2-piece there to close out that round there and take an offensive round win.
Oh man, Delivery though with the crisp triple, and he's gonna get the last one over here by steps. That's gonna be a nice kill cam as well. But man, like you were saying, Waba just unreal right now. He got the massive hold here at the pool steps that helped also stop one of the pushes you saw from 302 Gold when they were trying to cut off the reinforcements coming from that spawn out over at Mansion for P4 for Hill B. And Team Velis, they came out flying right here. They're I'm gonna keep a track of the difference in deaths here in case we do work our way towards a potential 5th round. Because in Control, it's the team with defense is determined by whichever team has the least amount of deaths, from what I've heard. You know, or life spent. You know, deaths is just the better term for it, easier term for it. But here we go. We're gonna see the side of Team 302 Gold. They're not gonna get the split off like we saw before by Team Velis, and where they just ping-ponged over to B, but we're going to see a bit of a split decision here to go B and A. The B won't be as capped as quickly as Team Velis got it.
On 8.
As right now we are going to see... Oh my lord, you're saying Waba's on 8. Make that 9.
On 9. He's got streaks too, doesn't he?
Full streaks. Man's gonna has a belly full of food right now, as he's just on a feasting streak, and Deviants didn't show up last map really that much until the end, getting himself 2 big kills. Now, right in front of you folks, we've got a reinvigorated Team Velis side, and man, I might have to start asking them for piss tests after this one.
They're looking really good here. I was not expecting this hot of a start from the Velis. I was kind of expecting it out of 302, to be honest with you, after that map 1, but Waba's just having an outstanding map here so far, sitting at 14-6 with full streaks like we discussed, and he went on 9 in a row there before dropping. The dude is just absolutely frying, and like you said, Deviants finally showed up to play. Maybe it was just the gun he was using there in that map too with the Krig. Maybe he's a little bit better with that QBZ, but man, they're really frying here in this map 3.
Yeah, and looking like SpongeBob in the Fry Cook Olympics right now with all of these plays and all the trickery we're seeing out of Team Velis. Maybe we're witnessing the start of not the start, but maybe we're witnessing the sort of the sheet being pulled off of the present here. The Velis might have really just been hustling us this whole time, you know. But right there, a massive break on comes through. A collapse, utter collapse on the defense of that B point. And, well, we're going to go offense for offense here. As a streak. Oh, no! I can't believe he would use it. No!
That is one of the biggest mistakes ever. Like, you just got to play your lives at that point. All 4 of you dropped, and you know you're going to lose that point. There was no need for that streak usage.
Yeah,
We're going to have to see if he still has that or not.
no way he's gonna have it. But man, and it's a cruise missile too. That one can get you a ton of kills, and it's a lot easier to get kills with that one than it is the artillery. The other team can just back off here, and well, we're gonna look over him here, and the streaks that are he's only gonna have that artillery in his back pocket right now, and that's got to be a bit of a mental issue right there. He's definitely not going to be feeling himself here. But we are going to be a split up from Team Velis. It's going to be a different play for the offense. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Waba going to get stuck right there. Little hot potato action, and unfortunately he ends the song off with that potato. It's going to get taken out, and Team Velis, they're a great team right now and showing resilience. And they, from what I hear, one of the reasons why they continue to play out this league and play out these matches, even though they've been having such a hard time with them, is because they really love Call of Duty. And I gotta give them a hand. I gotta hand it to them for the for putting in all this time and really enjoying the game, even though they do find a lot of losses at the end of the day. And right now, you know, some of that positive reinforcement is coming through big time for them. It's helping them regain and show us a new side to their team that we never really saw before. Fortunately, we're starting to see the starting to see the effects of the caffeine pill wear off that they took off in that first opening round of this control. And well, 302 gold, they're starting to look like the team we saw in that hard point to start off.
Yeah, 302 gold's looking really good here after that first round. Again, that streak by Waba, I'm still shook. Like, I could understand if they only had 1 tick in and then he used it, because he probably could have got all 4 right there. But I'm just kind of surprised he used that with the way he's been playing in this map. But to build on your point about these guys sticking together and playing together, I respect these players a lot for doing that. They're going through a lot of losses, like you said, and to stick together and try to, you know, work through it is just huge. And it's something I wish I could see more within, like, the amateur scene, especially like the high tier teams. But
even in the CDL, with what we're hearing right now,
literally. Like, give it a shot. Like, try to work through it. Don't just, oh, this guy played bad this series, we're dropping him. Like, I respect this team, and they're looking like pretty decent team here in this control, at least, or at least Waba's looking like a pretty decent team right now. Dude's, I think, got almost as many kills as his whole team combined, but he's on 6 in a row yet again there before dropping, and I don't know if he was anywhere near streaks after 6. I don't think he was, but
he has the artillery still.
Mad props to them.
At least he hasn't pulled the. If he pulls the trigger at the end of this one, on that artillery right before the map ends, man, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose full. Man, I might have to just let you cast single-handedly cast the rest of this control if he uses that streak in the dying seconds. Man, that'd be so brutal. As right now, you know, speaking of brutal, they're down to 4 lives right now remaining, up against the 10 for 302 gold, and you know, that difference that's a brutal difference right now in terms of lives. And well, 302 gold, it looks like they're gonna punish that difference and take it off the map, the last player. And there we go, 302 gold, they win their first, they're the first team to win a defense on this one so far in this series, on this map. And well, we'll see if that ends up being the decider now. But as we both know, control, historically, it favors the defense. Obviously, this map, for those of you that keep track of, you know, stats that out there in CDL and whatnot, this map, out of all 3 of the control maps, has the highest win percentage for offense, for the offensive team. So it's not unfamiliar that we see the first rounds go offense favored. The defense it looks like the 302 gold has sort of picked up on Team Velis now, and they've adapted to their resurgence. And now it's going to be interesting to see if Team Velis can sort of adapt and overcome this offense that they let take over, you know, 2 rounds ago from 302 gold.
No doubt. Hopefully they can bounce that back. I would love to see Banky actually push on through. I don't know why he was really sitting there. I think part of it was for spawns, but with him sitting as far back as he did, one player there, and I believe it was Delivery, spawned out super close to B, so that's going to allow him to get towards that B point and start getting some progress there. I think after that streak, Velis has kind of just lost full a little bit here in this map because they have not looked like the team we saw in that first round when they came out firing, and it looks like one player left from their team, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they've kind of just chalked this map, and
Kuwait streaks are going to start to come through here as well. It's unfortunate stuff here. It should most likely be the map, and you know, if the situation was earlier in this one and we didn't see A capped already on this round, then I probably would have did the restart. As Banky, he will get a big two-piece over by Pool, so maybe we don't count them out yet. One of their, I'm trying to remember, was Deviant their lowest scoring player or their most struggling player?
I think he was with Trill, if I'm not mistaken, or he was around Banky at one point.
Connor, man, put that Glock away. Don't expose us to that. That was dirty. Is Waba gonna get one kill in the ends of this, but 302 gold, they're gonna just be able to walk through. You know, 3 versus 4 in the end. It's unfortunate scenes, but you know, fortunately we gotta follow protocols in that one, and well, they have to play out that round 3 versus 4. Connor, there's that Glocky once again, man. Just gonna make it ring on those players, on that player in the end for that 2-piece on kill cam. Now we are gonna see the side of 302 gold go up once again in this one in the series, and we're gonna be back on Moscow. You know, hopefully, you know, for the side of Team Velis, there's a little bit of PTSD that 302 gold might be feeling going into it. So you know, that's got to be one thing you have going for you. You've already won in this series on this map. You know, sure, you know, you just lost the last map. You lost the last time you played this game mode in the series of Hardpoint, but you know, there is that opportunity for a, you know, to see yourselves through in that in this Hardpoint on Moscow. Just obviously you're going to want to have all your players in the lobby when we start the map. So while we do have these players come back in, you know, I think it'd be a great little moment for me and Ace of Clubs Wigs here to take a little break, maybe get a swig of water, rest our voices, so that we can come back to you guys and give you guys our all in that hard point that we have guaranteed for us here. It's 302 right now looking scary once again, and after that control, they gave us a bit of a, you know, a scare for the fans of 302 esports. They gave a little scare in that first round, but they pick up the pace and finish 3 in a row there to secure that one 3-1. Any last words before our little break there, Wiggs?
Nah, I think we can cover it when we get back.
Okay. We'll see you guys when we get back, okay? Well, we are back, folks, and we are loading up into that next map. It's going to be the Moscow hardpoint, and we saw Moscow search and destroy, but that we can't explain to you guys that's you got to play Moscow search and destroy. I mean, you got to play Moscow hardpoint the same way you play Moscow search and destroy. So it's completely different sort of strategy that you bring up to this new map and to this map when you have a new mode in place. And well. What do you got as a strategy here for us, Wigs? What are the most important? What are the money hills on this map?
Money Hills, I definitely would say P2 or P3. I think if you win the rotational battle, which we saw a lot from 302 there in that map one, you can definitely hold down a big chunk of time. And on P2, one thing to definitely focus on is getting control of that back police building and keeping that control for a good 35, 40 seconds, and then giving up the back and finding the kills and trying to force the opposing team to spawn back there. It'll help with the rotations, and if you can chain P2 and P3 together, then you're going to have a really good game. And I think we could very well see that here from 302 if they played like they did in that map one, but we'll see how this plays on out.
So far, we're seeing Team Velis once again give us one of those early game heartthrob starts here, as they got our hearts racing here. They're up 40-0 in points right here, and even have next rotation covered. This is looking like a completely different hardpoint team right now out of Team Velis, as they're stringing together points quite flawlessly here. In Wubba on a 6 streak, just on the edge of one more kill gets him the streak, but he's gonna die off. Just there were two spots he could have came from. One of those two sides picked the wrong one. Flip of the coin does not go his way. It goes tails after he called heads, and Wubba gonna come back out here, try to do more. 6-1 though. What a great start for Wubba here. And gotta give him massive props. And there we go. Actually a full team wipe right here with 25 seconds or less there of scrap time to work with for Team Velis. They're putting up a mean pillow fort for themselves right now. That 302 gold, if they continue to choke up here as they play this one, it's going to be a hard pillow fort to knock down. It's going to start to solidify and become way too troublesome, especially with the momentum continuing to spring to continue to roll for Team Velis. 302, what do they got to do here with these next two hills? When it comes to finding some way back into this one here.
I definitely think getting a full 60 here on P3 would help, and they're actually looking to do just that here. They're finding all the kills they really need to find here to keep control of these spawns. Number 6 and Rectal, he's going to have a huge gunfight. Maybe his teammate Ashley and Connor might have a huge one there in the back. And keeping these spawns here would be ideal, as there's 30 seconds still left, and then it'll help you get out towards P4.
Ooh,
hopefully to chain together some time, but as I'm saying that, oh my god, Rectal with that huge 2-piece in the back, but they're not getting any heal time off of that. Great break there from Velis. It's only 25 seconds there at the end maybe, but at least they split the time and maintain this lead, as I'm a little bit shook they're up right now.
Shooketh is one way to describe the feelings that I also have here. But man, Velis, they're showing up. They're not looking like a bottom feeder right here with what they're doing to 302. And when I did schedule this matchup ahead of time, I did think that this would be more interesting than what would be expected. And wow, right there, Banky gonna get himself a 2-piece off of Wubba's head. 100 points. There we go, 100-point mark secured for Team Velis. Now they can try to secure more points in this one than they did the last one. That would be a big victory here, as they're going to be working their way above the side of 302 gold. But now going into this next rotation of hills, Team Velis, they got to make their way across the map here, try to get over into those P2 spawns soon. First, obviously break these players' hearts here in dreams that are in checkers. Banky gonna find one kill. Wubba gonna get a kill in the background. Wubba in a 1 versus 1 in the end here on the point, gonna get taken out as Kuid traced him with that AK-74. Ooh, and now just gonna chill on into this point. Deviants though, gonna grab a big kill right there. Banky as well, gonna get a big kill there. Wubba gonna drop over by the garden section, and here we go. It's starting to look back and forth. We're starting to see 302 Gold warm up here and show us their hardpoint prowess that we saw in the opening first hardpoint of the series. But these trophy systems, they're gonna be able to stop a bunch of ordinances here and actually, you know, Team Velis coming through big. Oh my gosh, that nade clearing 2 off the hill. And wow, I actually talked for way too long there. My apologies, Wig. Sometimes I forget if I'm solo casting or duo casting at this point.
Oh, you're all good. Trust. Like that was a good hill there from honestly both teams. They split a decent amount of that time, but 302 are kind of struggling here in this map right now. I'm again shook that they're seeing Velis up by as many points as they were, especially after that map 1 performance, and hopefully they can get themselves back on into this hill, grab this time yet again here on P2. They did a great job there on that first rotation of grabbing time here on P2. And they're looking to do just that. They found a few kills here as Banky does find 1. We got Waba on 5 in a row yet again. I feel like that's the 3rd or 4th time we've said that in these last 2 maps. And he's turned up here in this series big time for his team as he's found a bunch of kills in these last 2 maps. And we're seeing Banky and Deviant finding a bunch of kills here as well. So the team's looking a lot better here in this map 4. I'm guessing map 4 was their map pick if they're playing this good, and map 1 was 302's map pick.
Right now the theory is Moscow, Team Velis, raid 302 Gold. So like, honestly, if we do see this map 5, which is what we're looking like we're gonna see right now with the way we're seeing Team Velis play this hard point, you know, oh my, the streaks are coming in, explosions. It's looking like real war out here as they're starting to come through. And well, yeah, like I was about to finish my point off before the explosions clamored and kind of put me off guard. Kind of like a, you know, one of those birds out there that likes to go after silver things, shiny things. It's kind of what happened there. The explosions. Oh, explosions. Oh. And but yeah, no. If the pattern continues, you know, 302 Gold, they could take away that 5, not 5, because it's raid. That's literally the only thing in this pattern right now. Raid 302 Gold. But that search and destroy we saw, it was iced up pretty well by Team Velis. You know, like just how Team Velis is icing up this this hard point.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, Velis, Moscow, and then we got 302 Gold there on raid. So I mean, on the bright side, it's looking great here for 302 if they do lose, because they've won both raids so far. But different modes, we shall see if it gets to map 5 first, because 302 Gold's looked really good here on this last hill and a half. They're starting to find some kills here. Hopefully gonna grab some hill time here on P4. If they can get a decent amount of time here on this hill and then out towards P1, could be seeing a lot closer of a game, and they could bring it back into their favor. It is looking like Trill that will end up dropping there. It's looking like Connor, Waba, and Deviants all finding kills. So Trace just going down left and right here on this hill. It's now a 50-point game from what used to be 100 and I believe 10-point advantage from that Velis roster. So hopefully they don't fall apart here in this map like we saw them do a little bit there in that 3rd map. And hopefully they can close this on out and get it to this map 5.
Yeah, a little bit of contest here, but they're gonna lose spawns for P2 here. They're gonna need to have somebody sent all the way to the back. These spawn outs are not good at all. No bueno for Team Velis, as you're even gonna see the initial time go over to 302. It's just so much, like a flip on its head. 302 Gold. You know, I was singing so much praises for Team Velis, and now it's all, you know, it's all dust under the carpet. You know, that lead, all of that success has now faded like the color in my shower. Is Trill. He's going to be playing street side long range gunfights with that AK-74 Uzi. Not going to be the best, shooting pellets at long range as well when it comes down to, you know, bullet damage at a long range here. Banky now going to have an important gunfight to win over here by Boulevard to help relieve that pressure and try to get spawns. And there we go. Scrap time going to go the way of Team Velis. They're going to stay ahead just barely going into the next one, but this cushion of a lead, it's paper thin. Trill going to get taken out right there as well. It's just very, very dire straits for Team Velis.
Yeah, it's not looking that great here for Velis right now. On the bright side, they do have this streak here from Banky. Hopefully they can get some positioning off of this. I don't know how much they're going to be able to get, as those spawns will probably still come into the back there for 302. Actually, one player does spawn on out. Hopefully these 3 players here for the side of 302 can at least find 1 or 2 kills and hope their teammate gets there in time. But Trill finding a huge 2-piece there for his team. We're seeing another lead change here for 302 as they do at least get some time there on P2. I would love to just see them rotate on out here towards P3, but have a better hold this time. There's not going to be streaks here, I believe, from the side of Team Velis, so it could be ideal here for 302 to get a big chunk of time here on P3. We saw it on that second rotation. If they can repeat it here, they can find themselves winning this map.
Yikes, gotta use a little bit of trigger discipline right there, Trill. Gonna watch out because Kuid, he's warmed up. Deviants, though, he's going to hit a big flank right here. Needs to play his life in this corner here. He's going to throw the trophy system down. It's going to block 1 ordnance. He's going to continue to grab attention of 1 player here. Now that trophy system will take him out. This is big. This next push that we're going to see Velis make, it's going to be potentially game-winning or game-ending here for them. As Waba is going to get on that point. 2 big kills right there. 40 seconds and plus. In terms of points for Team Velis. They are a few ticks away from winning. Nobody's going to be on that hill, and there we go, Team Velis. They close it out. Boy. 2-2. The punches come through the left and the right for both these teams, and both these fighters stay standing. We see ourselves going to a map 5, and we might have sounded very apprehensive, midway through this series. Things were tied up 2-2, 1-1. And then we saw a pretty monstrous control go the way of 302 Gold. But Team Velis, they shock and awe in that hard point, and they earned themselves that ticket to a map 5. Velis could get their first win on the boards in the league. Let's go!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still shook. Like, what? 302 definitely could have won that map right there. I don't know what they were doing by not contesting that point there at the end. I get they're trying to find kills, but with like 9 seconds needed there from Velis, like, you need to get in that hill, and no one even made an attempt until there was like 2 seconds left, and they both just dropped like flies. But wow, like you said, that last push was going to be the key push, and Velis just takes it. Waba going big there in the hill, and they win that map. I'm still shook. That game should not have been as close as it was, because Velis, I believe, was outslaying by a decent margin themselves there. But yikes. Map 5 though on Raid. We'll see how that plays on out. We've seen a lot of success from 302 on Raid.
Yeah, there's success on Raid from them, and then on top of that, they actually have series that they've won 302. So they won a they will actually. Okay, look, I'm gonna break down a few things. Okay, so one, the strategy of Raid, right? So that's what 302 has, right? Is that they've won that. We're looking at Team Velis. They won the previous Search and Destroy, so that's good. They iced up there. Now we're going back to Search and Destroy. They're coming off of a map win as well. Those are 2 big positives. And then just to add another negative to this side of 302, last time they were in a map 5 situation, they didn't ice it out. They lost to KGK. Round 11 S&D. So, right now, I feel like there's too many cards right now that are in the favor of Team Velis. Maybe even the Ace of Clubs as well. If the Ace of Clubs does go Team Velis for map 5, who's your prediction for map 5?
I'm still gonna stick to 302 here.
Oh!
I just think the teamwork's gonna be more in their favor here, especially on Raid. And they've had great teamwork here on Raid. So yeah, we'll see how that plays on out. But I'm excited to see this map 5. I think I still want to stick 6-4 for this map 5, but I could very well see this being like a 6-2 in favor of 302.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Velis. I'm going Velis 6-4. Okay, I'm gonna take that 6-4 that you said from before, and I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna use it to this one. You know what? I'm duplicating the score from last Surge. You know, patterns have been what have been in play so far, but you know, I feel like this is going to be the one that breaks the pattern. We see Team Velas, you know, the Cinderella story of the league potentially here. You know, getting their first win on the board in a series, getting their first series win. You know, they got their first. Today's their potentially their first for everything. Their first Search and Destroy win, their first Hardpoint win. You know, their first map win. Could also be their first series win. That would be huge. As we're gonna get things going here in just a moment. Right now, there's a little bit of a GA talk in the happening in the chat here, so I'm gonna make sure to talk to these players a little bit here as we take a little quick break. But when we come back, we'll be in hopefully for a raid search and destroy. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back. Map 5 alert. Okay, coming back over to us here right as the map is loading in. So Raid, we've seen it multiple times already in this series, 2 times in fact. We'll be seeing it the third time, the maximum time you can see it in a best of 5 series. Now, Raid S&D, what bomb site's going to probably be played the most in your opinion? Oh, I forgot to. Okay, we are back, guys, and we're ready for the S&D here. 302 gold up against Team Velis. This is a map 5, and I do not have the best of 5 score right for you guys. Ah, Ray's gonna kill me. Okay, but yeah, Wigs, jumping straight into the action here. What are your thoughts here when it comes to this search and destroy? What do these teams have to do to get across the board here?
Honestly, I think a lot of it, especially with Search and Destroy, comes down to those first bloods, but working as a team and rotating out when you need to rotate out, and yeah, that's really about it. I think as long as you get the first bloods, especially on raid, where a lot of trades could be coming in fast, getting that first blood's going to be crucial, and then grouping up and finding the last kill, like basically any other search, will be the main points to look at.
Yeah, and making sure. I think one of the things. Oh yeah, man, this is the second time we've seen that cheeky angle being used, and it's gonna get a kill off the start as well. I think the last time we saw that, or last time I saw that with you guys, was with Elemental Gaming. It was Dios who used it to get 2 rounds back to back in Ice's team's S&D earlier this week, 3-0 win, I believe they had on the cards for themselves, and well. Team Velis, they have shocked us so far here, bringing us to a map 5, especially off of a start that was very brutal. It was what was like a 100-point club, 250 to, or no, it was nearly a 100-point club. I think they got over the hump just barely, right? I'm not quite
They're
sure.
at 125, I believe.
Yeah, something of that nature, right? But it was still a rather wide margin, and we saw really back and forth search and destroy here, and it ended up favoring Team Velis down the line, and I feel like that's exactly what they're going to need to happen once again, a nice back and forth S&D, and Trill going to find a big kill over by the driveway here, and Deviants is going to get himself a kill also. This is going to leave a player left all alone in the 1 versus 2. Reckles gonna maybe notice Banky on the bomb. He won't be able to take him down, and the retreat comes through. He does drop. That's good to get rid of him off the board, and so that he can't get any streaks in the coming rounds. But here we go, Velis. They even things out here, and like I was saying before, it's gonna be big that they keep things close in this series.
Yeah, if they keep this map, yeah, if they keep the map and each round really close, like they have a good chance of winning this map, no doubt. When we saw it in that map too, I'm still sticking to my prediction of 302s winning at 6-4, but it's going to come down to teamwork. As long as you play good as a team, trade out, I mean, just win the rounds that you should be winning, then you should be perfectly fine. But we'll just see how it plays on out. Some teams can surprise you, and I've been surprised quite a bit here by Velis tonight after that map 1 loss. So anything could happen here.
One really cool thing I can tell you though, is after them winning that second map in the series, they are now guaranteed second place, second last in the group now. They're not fourth. They're not last in the group. So they've made it past the team in last. By a map. By a map. They're going to be going into next week at least, in that spot. If they do, however, take this series, they have the opportunity then to potentially jump up all the way to 6th in their group instead of 7th/8th, like where they were hovering previously. So already looking up for them going into week number 4 off of week number 3, regardless of the outcome. It's gonna be something positive they can take away from things. As Banky, he was that man that we saw making the most impact for a team, 302 gold, and right now, finding that bomb and making the least impact when you look down at KD here. Hopefully he can destroy that trophy, maybe work towards a streak off of that score. Not gonna catch it, but Connor's gonna be up top. They're flirting in this 1 versus 3 with potential death. Now, the player middle here, Waba, not going to be very forgiving if players don't get to challenge him and get their shots off first. And he's going to be able to get the team up across the board early here. And man, Velis, they're already off to a good start here. 2-1 lead. We could see that upset. We're starting to smell it more and more here as the rounds go on in the S&D.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good in search. Like Waba's starting off hot yet again in another search and destroy. What, he was like 11-6 or something in that map too, or 11-7
No,
if I'm not
10. He was
mistaken?
10. He had 10. Banky had 11.
Oh yeah,
In the
okay.
S&D, yeah.
Yep. Waba was kind of that unnoticed player there on that team, clutching up when he needed to and finding those kills. I remember that now. But yeah, I mean, he's been playing good since map 2. He's had a great series here outside of that map 1, but he's looking amazing. I'm really happy to see him playing well and seeing this roster up 2-1 right now after doubting them for most of this series after that map 1, because I haven't seen these two teams play, but you kind of get like an idea of how the teams will be after watching one map, and we've just seen better teamwork in this series alone from 302, but right now they're finding themselves down 1-2.
1 versus 2, and Waba, if he can get those last 2 kills, he will get himself the streaks, and then the defuse would also get him the max. But unfortunately, as I'm talking about what could happen, it doesn't happen. And it's going to be a 2-2. We're going to still see things close. And, you know, it's not going to be an identical round, or not an identical map to how that first S&D played out, because I think it was, you know, back and forth, but we did see Team 302 Gold keep nudging themselves ahead with a lead, and then finally at the end, Team Velis took a lead. Here, you know, things are a little bit differently, but still relatively the same. I think we're at 2-2 going into round 5 last time around with the S&D, and that tag from delivery is going to be big. It's going to help give information out that there was a ton of players pushing out over at that car, and well, 3 players drop. This is a big round that 302 are getting up on the board, and that's going to be a flawless one as well, with none of their players dropping in the midst there. That's got to be a nice momentous round for them. You know, big thread the needle kill right there from Rectal on that heady, and he's going to finish off Banky as well on the retreat. Don't turn your back on your enemies, let alone your family. And there you go. Team Velis, just as quick as they were up by 1, they find themselves now down by 1 in the S&D.
Yeah, that was a great round there from 302 Gold. And I just want to point this out. We got Rectal already at 9 kills here on the map, and we're only 5 rounds in. This dude is frying right now, sitting at triple positive here for his team. I hope he can keep that going. If he keeps that going, that's going to be a pretty easy map 5 win if they keep winning these rounds. So for 302, if he keeps that momentum going, that's going to be huge for them. Deviant's able to find a huge kill there, but he will be traded on out immediately, and then one of his teammates does end up dropping there. Rectal able to find his 10th kill now already here in this map. We should be seeing a 4-2 lead here in favor of 302, unless Waba can pull off some type of miracle here and clutch up in this 1v3. It's really hard to do it on a map like Raid. It would have been more ideal on Moscow, where you have a lot of room to work with, but here on Raid, you don't have that room, and we do see him end up dropping there, and that's now going to be a 4-2 lead here in favor of 302 Gold.
Yeah, the now 2 pillows stacked up there, and that player that went prone there, that's, you know, those feet out at that gray van, that's where you end up dying, you know, from feet shots usually. So going prone right there just leaves you wide open for a headshot that will, you know, kill you in one bullet, especially when you're tagged up to half. Unfortunate predicament Velis' player was in there in that situation, and Banky, he's just not as hot as he was in that opening search and destroy for his team. And you know, maybe that's the big difference maker in this S&D right now. What has Team Velis behind? As good trade kills are coming through, as Waba, he's going to be carrying the side for this S&D at the moment, and the trades end up slowing down and in favor of 302 Gold now. You know, Team Velis, they needed to push through once they got that real estate. Waba had done a good job grabbing that kill mid. There was some open area over at A to play with, and now it's going to start to shrink down. These players are going to start to be converged onto, most likely by 302 Gold. And well, going top steps right here was most definitely not the play for Banky. You know, went all alone as well. And that's leaving now Deviant in a 1 versus 3, and Stevens, the player that played the least well in the opening one. He's going to be
Ooh.
challenging. He should have just slid away, man. I could point at so many different flaws within these last 2 rounds from Team Velis, and you know man, they're just not, like, they're collapsing right now in the S&D, and man, it's brutal. This is looking like some deja vu collapse from the control.
Yeah, it really is, to be honest. They started off hot and they're I don't know, they just shut down. I personally don't get it. You start off really good playing like a team and then you kind of just shut down once the game's tied back on up. So maybe there's a few communication issues there on the inside. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think one of the things you said there in that last round in Banky struggling here in this map 5, he was one of those difference makers there in that map 2 for this Velis roster, and he's not really showing up here in this map 5 at all, really, but he does finally find a second kill here in the map. If he can turn it on around and help his team get back on into that, that would be huge, but Rectal able to find, I believe, his 6th kill in a row there before dropping. Not sure if he was able to pick up any streaks or not, but a great round there to bounce on back from Velis, but they're going to have to take 3 more in a row here to win this map. I just personally don't see it happening, but maybe they can prove me wrong.
You know, the heart of the cards, right? I'm gonna try to believe. If you're a Team Velis fan out here in the chat looking for that Cinderella story to potentially come to fruition. Now, if you're a 302 Gold member and you're really looking forward to your team hopefully ending this week off at 2-2, well, you know, it all comes down to this one right here, where Team Velis, they find themselves behind here, but they're gonna string together. You know, they're gonna keep that momentum going, and they're gonna get themselves on the board with a first blood. That's big. All this glass being broken over here, you know, maybe if it was mirrors, I would say it's a bunch of bad luck, but you know, it's just glass. You know, it's just, you know, it's not that much bad luck, and but at the same time, you know, what's the play? You know, why sort of stand still over here in this one corner of the map? You know, your team is going to have to start to edge their way forward here, and they are going to find some space to work with here, as players aren't going to be aggressing forward through that zig. Now the bomb is going to be able to get planted in this corner right here. This is a big one. If the player at pool steps comes down and checks that, he should drop. He will drop holding that angle. Trill will get a nice trade in the background. That's going to lead it to a 2 versus 2. Still much doable. Chase, watch your English. Still doable for Team Velis. I am absolutely falling apart right now when it comes to my my casting skills here with my English, man. Second language for sure. Team Velis, they're on the brink of potentially getting this round to go their way. The one player here up top bedroom having to get these kills here. He's gonna have to try to kill off delivery as well. Can he get the kill? He does! But does the defuse get hopped in time? It does. 5 seconds for that defuse as well. This player should get it in. No! Oh my gosh! No way! What? No, it's a 5-second plant, but 7-second defuse. Oh, Chase!
7.5 defuse, and wow. That was, I thought Trill was going to drop their top bedroom right away because he was just playing a weird angle there trying to help his teammate get a kill, but I think Velis got really lucky right there with Trill dodging a few bullets there at the end, and yeah, you know, in the end, they win the round. My 6-4 prediction still looking good. Hopefully we can see 302 close it out, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a round 11 here in a map 5, so hopefully we can see Velis continue their little momentum they've gained here in this map by winning these last 2 rounds, and hopefully they can win this 3rd one and force it to that round 11, maybe even win this map and win the series. We'll see if they can do that here in this map 5.
You know, right now we're gonna see again the side of 302 Gold. They just love to play to B with that bomb. But this bomb carrier is going to end up taking a bit of a detour back into spawn here. The trade kills come through. Who's going to be able to come out on top with these trades? Ends up being even Stevens. Oh, it looks like Team Velis is going to find themselves ahead here. This is going to be big. Could Banky get this big kill here on the player? No, he's going to get tagged up. He's going to drop. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 now. Trill going to have an AR to work with here. I'm not sure if it's double ARs that he has, you know, or if he's going to have a sub in his back pocket here. But Trill going to be playing it nice and slow here. Would love to see him aggress forward to a bomb site potentially, but it looks like he will just wait for that bomb plant to come through. Trill We'll be looking to sniff for that player here. Gonna want to find that kill here. That player's gonna play courtyard and just peek out a little bit here and there. Probably not be overzealous and over aggress forward. Now, will Trill be able to take down Connor there in courtyard? Connor is going to be playing a little tricky spot right there. Trill is going to need to get a big kill right here. He's going to spot him out. Can he win the gunfight? He does! He will have time to defuse the bomb. Go to the bomb. Pick it up, my son! Quit fumbling it like a footballer with no thumbs. There we go.
God, I thought he was going to miss that.
Wipe the sweat off your brow, why don't you?
Holy, when he went to the other side of the bomb, I thought, oh my God, bro, you don't even know. Like, that is just wild to see.
See, this is the first time Velis has a potential to win a map. You know, there's so much pressure on the line. You know, they're on stream as well. This is a round 11 S&D map 5. Like, you gotta hope that they can get these nerves handled. You know, but over on the side of 302 Gold, Rectal, the hard carry. 17 kills! That's the most in an SD so far in the league. The man has the record right now. Where's Ripley's?
More than his team combined right now.
Oh my lord. Oy Dios mío. It's a bit of a standstill here. A lot of shots and everything over by this bedroom. Maybe Team Velis is trying to invite 302 Gold in for an orgy or something. I don't know. but 302 Gold, they aren't taking the bait. With this attention over at A though, all this they gotta make sure to watch their flank though. That's the big issue right here. There's gonna be a few players peeking out. Waba's gonna find a big kill. Will the trades come through? They do come through. It's gonna be a 3 versus 2. Can Deviant get into Tiki here? He's gonna get into a big spot. Oh, he's gonna know there's a player in here. It's a 2 versus 2 here. The bomb needs to come down. He's gonna will he race it over to A? Okay, a big kill might come through. Oh my gosh, 1 versus 1 here. Deviant, he's low. Does he spot him? Does he know he's there?
Cross.
Deviants, no! 302 Gold, they come through with the win! Oh my god, Velis! Oh my god, look how, I want to see how low his health was. Literally, 1 shot away from winning their first series in the ALG League, and the Diamatti, the Glocky for Connor, comes through with the clutch in the round 5 search and destroy. Team Velis, my heart broken. But Wiggs over here, ace of clubs. It's got that full house to end it all off here. 3-2 win for team 302, and you get your half your prediction correct there. There you go.
Yeah, still nerve-wracking there though. I think Velis should have won that. They had the numbers there for the most part in that round. I think if we see that kill come in onto Connor prior to him getting away out towards Tiki, they definitely win that. But I don't know, maybe if that player tries to chase the kill a little bit more rather than playing his life, it could have got them the round win. But in the end, 302 does win it, and Velis made that interesting, taking those 4 or 3 rounds, I should say, to get it to that round 11. Very well could have pulled off the 2-5 comeback as well. They just come up a little bit short.
For sure, it was nerve-wracking ending, and it could have gone either way in the end. I think nerve-wracking, the word nerve is an emphasis here. I feel like Velis, they haven't been able to get a win off of any maps in any series, let alone even get to a map 5 and be in a position where they could potentially win a series. Like, there's just it's on stream. There's all these things that just mount on that pressure. Their team, from what I know as well, this might be their first league that they've ever competed in as well. So there's a lot of new firsts for them, along with that pressure that's on there. And I feel like that pressure, they're gonna get used to it over time if they start to show up as they start to show up more on stream, and learn from practicing and playing up against more of these teams in the league. I think a really fortunate thing for a team like Velis is that going into playoffs, every team is going to make it in. They'll still have that opportunity to show up a new, like, be a new team in a way. Not not fully, like, not branding, not like players, but they could show up big time and be better than what their record might lead them to be looked as. And so you know but there's definitely growth. You saw massive growth right there. Velis bringing it to a round 11 search and destroy map 5 after losing 3-3-0 matches before. you know my head's up if I'm them. You lose, don't put your head in your hands. You guys should be holding it up because you guys beat expectations. That's like literally, you guys won. You lost the map. You didn't win the war, but you won the battle in my head with yourselves. And that's all you can ask for, in my opinion. Like, if I was coaching them, that's the big golden thing that I'm looking at for them.
Yeah, I think one thing that they should really do, watch back the VOD. See where you went wrong. You had a bunch of moments where if you played the situation properly, you probably would have won that series 3-1. In my opinion, they probably could have won that 3-1. I think the streak usage and that control really killed the vibe, and I mean, kind of threw things off because there was times they could have used that cruise to break either one of the points in those other 2 rounds in that control. And then you look at the search, there's a bunch of situations in both search maps that they definitely could have proven upon, and they definitely could play a little bit better, more as a team. A lot of the problem, I think, is playing as a team, but they started playing as a team there towards the end of that raid, and they were starting to win rounds. So I think if they go back and watch it, look at the rounds they lost and the rounds they won, they can definitely learn a lot from it and use it in future matches.
What was it? It was like 5-2, right? That they came back and ended up giving us
Yeah.
that around 11. That was gorgeous. I thought that was gorgeous. They were able to bring things back and then even make it a 1 versus 1 at the end. Super interesting. I feel like what lost them that one was the way that player didn't commit enough to get that kill. You saw that was it who was it that lost that gunfight at the end? I'm
Oh
forgetting.
god, I don't even remember.
I don't even. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on who it was that lost the gunfight at the end. But they saw both the players on. They had an opportunity to kill both those players on 302. And not they could have killed the first guy that aggressed the bomb planner. The bomb planner, maybe his reaction time was too slow, because he could have hopped off that bomb maybe and got the kill on the player instead of dying off. I think trying to stick the bomb plant. So I don't know. In the end, it was a very sticky situation. But congrats once again for 302. Congrats to both these teams for giving us such an entertaining series that maybe a lot of people would have written off beforehand as not being that entertaining of a series, probably, and it being a wash. End up being very entertaining. And I've got to give mad props to my man Wiggs for filling in here. I'm not saying the shoes he filled from any of the previous co-casters with me have been massive, but man, Wiggs, thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to hopefully have you on board for more matches in the future as you continue to push onwards with your casting career. Bright future ahead of you. You got a bright voice. You have some really nice analytical takes as well that I really enjoyed through casting with you, and I don't know. If you guys haven't already, drop a follow. You guys can see his at here on the screen. Give a nice old follow to him, because he deserved it after this performance he put on with me today. Any last words you got, any last words you got, Wiggs, before we close things off?
Uh, to be honest with you, I'm a man of little words, so GG's to both teams. Thanks for having me on. It was a blast. I'm down to do this any time, to be honest with you. So hopefully in the future.
Awesome, and one last thing before we part, guys. I apologize that we weren't able to get you guys any action today between ADS Gaming versus Team Natural. I know going into this week, it looked like it might have been even the match of the week, seeing as those two teams starting off this week were both hot on a win streak without having any losses, undefeated. But unfortunately, due to some some team issues with Team Natural. They had to forfeit both their matches this week, so they unfortunately go to a 2-2 record. But we do see ADS Gaming staying on top, 4-0, just like the Dawn of Chaos side on the opposite on the other group in the other group. And so stay tuned, folks, for tweets from me and ALG regarding the voting for which player of the makes it as player of the week to the interview series that we're going to start up with the first episode being this weekend, hopefully on Sunday or Saturday. We'll figure it all out. But stay tuned for that information, as well as an update on the standings and scoreboards after all the offline matches end. I believe we're waiting on Elements versus Flawless. Elemental Gaming versus Flawless. That's going to be the Group 1 last match to play offline. And then the last match to play offline for Group 2 is the KGK versus OTB1. So both of those interesting ones. They are going to be very important. Flawless still to get their first series win. So maybe they get one offline against Elemental. And then over with OTB and KGK, if OTB upsets KGK, then both those teams will end this week off 2-2. So that'll be interesting to shake things up going into week number 4. Thank you guys once again for all of you guys for watching and tuning in. We hope you guys have a great end of your day, great weekend, and we will hope to see you guys on Monday for the start of week 4's action. So see you guys later. Have a good one.